Hey guys, Josh back again with another graphic novel review. This week I'm reviewing One Punch Man Volume 1. Yeah, I know this is technically not a graphic novel, it's a manga, but I'm considering doing Manga Mondays, and I wanted to put this in the graphic novel series, see what kind of response it gets, and if it gets a decent response, Manga Mondays will be in the channel's future. Okay, this is going to be a mostly spoiler-free review, so if you haven't read One Punch Man Volume 1, feel free to watch the video. I will warn you before we get to any spoilers, so don't fear that. Let's get started. I really enjoyed One Punch Man Volume 1. I have 2 and 3 right over here. I don't know if you can really see them, but they're right there. I haven't read them yet. I've only read Volume 1, and I really liked it. First of all, the art. I love the art choices in this. Like, the villains are all very super detailed and awesome looking. They look amazing. And One Punch Man, the hero of the comic, is very undetailed. He looks almost like Charlie Brown. And his name is One Punch Man, so I think that kind of gives away. I mean, this probably isn't a spoiler, but I'm going to throw the word out there just in case. He defeats his enemies in one punch. So you see this character who looks like Charlie Brown walking up to a giant insect monster and basically exploding his head in one punch, and it's amazing. The whole comic is stuff like that, and it's funny and goofy, but the great thing is yeah, it's funny and goofy and a little bit silly, but you know, a lot of manga and anime gets that over-the-top silly. I'm really picky about this kind of stuff. I don't like the over-the-top silly animes and manga, and that's one thing I was concerned about when I started reading about One Punch Man. I was like, this could get really silly, but it doesn't. It stays, you know, not serious, but like it's a parody, and so the silliness really works well. And so the fact that One Punch Man is the least detailed character in the comic, and he looks very innocuous, and just some of the other art choices, like the over-the-top violence in places, it's absolutely hysterical. And for that reason, I gave the art a 10 out of 10. Okay, story. This is where it could get a little spoilery, so if you want to go ahead and mute the video now or leave the video now, go ahead and do that, because I'm going to get a tiny bit spoilery as I grade the story. Now, in the story, One Punch Man, he became a superhero for fun, and he trained and trained and trained, and he's gotten so powerful and so strong that he defeats his enemies in one punch, hence the title of the book. And therefore, being a superhero has gotten a little bit boring. And that in and of itself, I'm like, okay, how much is that gonna, how far is that gonna carry this book? A story about a bored superhero. But no, once the main story gets launched, which happens a little bit late in Volume 1, I think if they would have gotten the main story off earlier, maybe I would have graded story a little bit higher. But once the main story does kick off, it gets really good. You're like, okay, I'm on board. It's okay that One Punch Man is, you know, kind of, the thrill of being a superhero is going away for him a little bit. But the thrill of reading the book and the fun of reading the book doesn't go away, which was my concern. And the fact that they were able to pull that off was absolutely awesome. I gave story an 8 out of 10. Voice and dialogue. Voice and dialogue is where a lot of manga falls kind of flat. Not really flat. It gets a little off-putting to me sometimes, because sometimes the translation from the Japanese to the English, a lot is lost in translation. That's more of a problem with anime than it is manga, though. And there's really nothing lost in translation in One Punch Man. It made it very readable. So I gave voice and dialogue a 9 out of 10. Highlights of the comic. Overall, I have to say the art. I love the art in the comic. Just the detail of the villains, and then the innocuousness of One Punch Man. I thought it was a very witty choice, and I loved it. The art is really what made me fall in love with the comic. Problems? There are no real problems with the book, so yeah. Overall, I'm going to score One Punch Man a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend it. If you haven't picked it up yet, seriously, go on Amazon right now and buy it. Go to your local comic book shop and see if they have it on the shelves. This is one that I'm definitely going to recommend. You need to check it out. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this review. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Have you read One Punch Man? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's talk about it. Also, I'm considering doing a Manga Monday series, so let me know if that's something that you would be interested in down in the comments. I need your feedback. Okay, that is absolutely it for this video. I hope to see you next week when I review Batman Hush, Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.